Hello everyone, in this video we are going to have a lot of different stories and a lot of different news stories. Keep a critical mind as always. I will always try to put all the evidence and proof out there. If there isn't enough, then also you can search for yourself, but I will try to keep all those things out there for you guys. And as always, keep a critical mind and I hope you enjoy. We all know that the Sajam Slam thing is happening. We all know that Vivi's in there. We all know that Doki's in there. They're fine with each other. They themselves personally are fine with each other. But we all know that the company is not fine with Doki. The company Nijisanji does not like Doki. It tried to smear her, try to slander her, and when she left, and it left a bad taste in her mouth, and it apparently still is a sore spot for Nijisanji as the management. And here we go. We have some people being here. Anon Dragoons are so mentally ill that Doki has to make special announcement to tell them not to harass Vivi. They'll do it anyways because they don't respect themselves or their Oshi. No. I think most people had no clue about what was happening until Doki actually mentioned it. Because she knew that eventually it was going to get out. And she wanted to make sure that people direct it to the correct places. Direct it to Nijisanji and not Vivi is pretty much what she was saying. Direct the anger towards the people who are actually doing it, not the actual liver, is what I feel she was saying. She was of course saying don't harass and things like that. But if you're going to be angry at anybody, be angry at the organization that is making Vivi not interact with me, not Vivi herself. Those are just FaZe Kex, false flagging, and starting drama. It's been proven time and time again. And of course, you have status there. Tyrant Vanta. She was handed the win. I watched that match and even used King. She was terrible. I was talking about way back in the day of Tekken. What the F is wrong with native English speakers and saying should've, must've, etc. Must've, should've, or rather, I was expecting to read this on a pie and home address. Sure, blame FaZe for everything. It's not like the Dragoons have spammed their blank on Twitter using accounts dedicated to Doki ever. Also, the other ones, the people who are against Doki, have absolutely sent a lot of hate as well. Why does it matter? Language is a living thing that changes over time. Don't be weird. Dude, why are you being so defensive? Very curious. Woke up time, 6:18 livers that can wake up at 6 a.m. Goes on random stuff. You're trying too hard. You guys are being very autistic. I'm autistic. I guess I can relate, maybe. I don't know. I'll bring your post up to Doki addresses the S fan base. I didn't watch the stream on Twitch, but I hate will Sajam differentiate between modern player and classic one. That's interesting. Hope you realize that the thing she said she was going to talk about at the start is her not being there for the IRL bits. Why would she need to address something Sajam already talked about? F off. Because I doubt all her fans watch the stream, obviously. Using my prescriptism is an excuse. Not properly learned language is lame. And now they're going after each other for language. Okay, continuing on. This, sir here, will continue to pretend like Doki isn't perpetually seething. What are those receipts? Literally a 1-minute scripted section talking about how she's fine with Vivi playing, but they won't be on the same team. Keep seething, Niji Kex. You are in mercy of Doki Bird. Okay, this is 4chan, of course. 4chan's gonna be 4chan. She had the opportunity to straight up boot Vivi off the tournament because Sajam was gonna kick back her over Vivi, but Doki gave the okay because she thought it wasn't fair to Vivi. Glad she's out of that S-hole because she's better than you Niji Kex deserve. She didn't say that. She didn't say that they need to behave. Glad they want to interact. The fact that Dragoons need to be told to behave. Yeah, no, she didn't say that the Dragoons need to behave. She just tried to make it directed toward the right people, you know? Not really surprising since it was the same mint. I didn't think it'd hate another bad way of calling Doki more than I already do, but here we are. See, the yellow bird has the power to blacklist all of you livers. With literally Niji, you FaZe Keck, she already mentioned she'd been banned from attending certain events by them, so she didn't want to do the same to Vivi. That she did mention that. She mentioned that she had been rejected from a lot of fighting game tournaments because she didn't mention who, but she said that recently she had been, banned or rejected or otherwise told she couldn't go to certain fighting game tournaments. And most likely it's because, Nijisanji Liver is there and they're trying to keep Nijisanji happy, which is, the respectfully can be done by anybody. It is the organizer's choice. That's why she didn't specifically name each organizer, because she knows there's going to be hatred towards them, and that's not good. Pretty much confirms that Vivi and Vox drop out the previous tournament because of Doki. Because of Niji, I doubt Doki would have denied allowing Vivi to participate in the previous tournament. Only Niji would have denied that. People down here say, so long before Niji punishes Vivi for not having antagonized Doki? I don't know. The Fat B blocked people from behind and manipulated others into believing management was the one who blocked them. People need their meds. They definitely do. How does it feel to be BPD Bird? Is the power to block us all your 3 views? He keeps going. He's saying, how I wake up knowing my enemies are ontologically evil and there's no act against them, which is wrong. Niji fans are so nice and humble. Just take the comments as an example of their kindness, of course. And down here, I wish she blanked herself. It says, man, I just wish she blanked herself. I don't. It not only is that bad on a moral level, but even on a pragmatic level, it will be terrible because we never hear the end of it. Oh, only because they never hear the end of it. Oh, God. Even this guy is more grace than that. Go F yourselves. Eat yourselves alive for all I care. To worst aspects of VTubing, fandom devouring themselves would be the best thing to happen in the history of the medium. And it keeps going. Considering sisters make comments like this when they think they're not being watched, yeah, I think it's them acting up again. Still going on with their tired and true. Tried for half a year to no avail. Saying, you know, she's horrible, tore down the careers because she couldn't handle being told to wait a couple of days. That BS. This will be keynote as long as Niji and management doesn't do something horrifying and stupid, express the purpose of preventing Vivi from interacting with Doki, like a branch-wide revocation of Street Fighter perms, or a branch-wide revocation of Capcom perms, or handing Vivi a last-minute suspension. That's one of the fears I had, that she might be suspended. I'm leaving this so you guys can read it as well. Not sure if possible for anyone to inform any color of Vivi's participation in a tournament, which will also have Doki in it, in a manner with more than snitching on her energy than an effing press release. You know, it can end up being like snitching overall. No one skinwalked anyone. Management told them what to tweet. They did it. Vivi had the choice of refusing it, but she ended up doing it. Now it's been half a year since then, so there's a chance that Vivi talked to Doki in private to patch things up. If that didn't happen, she decided to join the event anyways. That would make her effing coward and a blank. We will see. And they keep going. It keeps going for quite a while. People still see things. He says, well, let's see if it's a when in Rome type of situation, or if Vivi is nothing more than a clout chasing blank. Future will show. So they're even attacking Vivi at this point. They're attacking everybody. It's just really, it shows what happens when you are a part of a cult, or have a cult-like personality, or cult-like following of the people that are in an organization. And again, people, you know, on X also going after her, just as the last thing. Several things bother me about this, but the fact that Doki felt the need to inform people rubs me the wrong way. Acting like the bigger person in an unnecessary way feels like a PR move. No, what it is like I said before, she is just making sure that the anger is directed towards the right people and not directed in an unhealthy way. For those who are interested, here is what Sajam, the person who's running the Sajam Slam with Vivi, that has Vivi and Doki both in it, that we talked about yesterday. Here's what he has to say on the whole issue. Again, I'm not sure if this is a kind of PR move or if this is the truth. Either way, let's take it as face value.
For a while, the first slam I ran was right after there was some initial issues with Nijisanji. I wasn't very familiar with it at the time. I kind of looked into it a little bit and I was like, am I causing a ruckus here? I have Mrs. Brightshield and Mrs. Bird in my event. I have no problem with anybody. The only thing that I'm trying to do is make sure that everybody is cool and there's no issues with anybody involved. I just don't want there to be any problems. In the same ways that in like other events, certain people were like, yeah, I don't want to be on a team with this other person. They have like mutual, yeah, me and this person, we don't want to be on the same team, but I have no problem being in the same event as them. That kind of stuff's come up before. It's no problem. In this case, obviously, Doki was in the last second slam. Victoria and Rosemi were in the first second slam. They were awesome. Nobody had any problems all the way along. But because Doki was in the last one, her and I talked about being in the slam, and obviously Mrs. Brightshield's going to be in this one too. We had like an early conversation about, can this even happen? Like, are all of you allowed to be in the same place at the same time? I don't know the rules, man. Can someone from this company and Mrs. Bird be in the same location? And if so, what are the rules of engagement? Like, what are we allowed to do, right? Like, can you both be in the same team? Can you be in the same skill level? Can you interact or whatever? Like, what are the conditions? And like the early conversation basically we had is Mrs. Bird and Mrs. Brightshield allowed to be in the same event? If so, what are the rules of what they're allowed to be? And if they can't be, either for personal reasons or like the company decides or one of them doesn't want to, how do we resolve this, right? So like if Mrs. Bird and Mrs. Brightshield can't be in the same event, who should be in the event? Should Mrs. Bird drop out? This is a conversation I asked. I was like, do you think you should drop out? Do you think we should have you in this one? And then we'll have a conversation with Victoria and see if she wants to be in this one or not. Like, no, we just have a conversation. That's all. Like, what makes the most sense for everybody? Does it make sense for Mrs. Brightshield to be in this event? Does it make sense for Mrs. Bird to be in this event? Can you both be in this event? Should we go? And we'll take turns. Like, it's like this event will have a lot of people from Nijisanji, and then the next event we'll have a bunch of people who they can't operate or work with or for whatever reason, and put them in an event, and we'll just rotate to make everything make sense and be cool. That was basically the conversation that we had. It was like, how do we accommodate so that everyone can be involved in this and not have any problem? There was like no yada or you know who I can't stand. Literally everybody was like super cool about it. We got some rules about what we were allowed to do and not allowed to do. We accommodated and we did the thing, and I made sure that everybody was cool. I just had a conversation with both people. You all okay with everything? If we do it this way, is it fine? Is this going to cause any problems? People going to be mean to you? Like, is this going to be a big thing? And the consensus from everybody was like, this should be cool. The only thing that I'm worried about is like people on the internet going ham, because this is like the first contact basically. That was basically it, right? Like that was as complicated as the conversation was. Like I promise you, that's it. Just like what makes the most sense? Like, should someone be in this one and not in the next one? Do you want to be in this one? Do you not want to be in this one? Do you feel more strongly about this event or that event? Should we like swap events? Can we coexist? It was just like a normal conversation.
So it was a normal conversation. It was him reaching out, and him reaching out probably to Nijisanji, knowing that there are issues going on, and being with Nijisanji, letting them know, you know, are there certain rules that I have to have? These people are going to be in the same event. Are there certain rules? And I guess that's where the rule happened, where they cannot be in contact with each other. They cannot be in any kind of reach with each other. And that is where the Doki situation popped up, and where Doki cleared it up, where basically Nijisanji was like, nope, can't have any kind of contact with Doki. Just make sure they're not on the same team, make sure they're not in the same groupings, so that they don't have any kind of contact with each other, at least intentionally. Later on, if they have contact with each other when it comes to, you know, the tournament, it's a tournament. What can you do? But not direct contact with each other in the way that, you know, it is intentional. Which is, it makes sense for Sajam to actually talk about that and make that happen. It doesn't make sense that Nijisanji even is doing that, but whatever. Minato Aqua, the forever gaming maid, the indomitable gaming maid, has graduated. She's officially graduated, officially finished. Thank you so much, Aqua, for everything that they have done for the 6 years. It was an emotional experience for everyone who watched. She got over I think she got over 740. She got like 700K concurrence. The peak, I think, was like at 749. It was anywhere from 500 to 700. She popped 700K, by the way, 500K to 700K. She popped back and forth between those two. People say, man, the thought of the people behind those avatars graduating and looking back at their time as one of the Hololive talents and thinking, oh yeah, that happened. Or I used to be that character. This chapter of their life will surely not be forgotten. From what I vaguely remember, Aqua's fairly young too, which means she still has an entire life ahead of her. At some point during that, she'll look back at the 6-year stretch and probably be amazed by it all. She accomplished an insane amount of stuff that likely not many will ever accomplish a fraction of. Handfuls of original songs, concert performances in the thousands, for thousands of people, video game championships, traveling the world. She became Apex Predator at one point, which is the top of Apex Legends in her solo career. Traveling the world, having TCG games based on her personality as Aqua, etc., etc. She had visual novel games. She is an SAO, one of the SAO games as well. As a playable character, she will remain that. I covered that the other day. Truly incredible what she achieved. She was one of a kind, and I believe whether she'll think of herself or not, she'll look back every so often and think, whoa, I did all of that. I know pretty much every Hololive fan will think the same whenever they're reminded of her too. It's honestly over, and it's honestly one of those times like she was able to get out of her shell. That's one of the things that everyone is proud of for Aqua. All the people who watched her, everyone who saw her as an Oshi was proud of her for that. She was extremely shy when she started. She was still timid to this day, but she has gotten to that point where she is now able to talk more freely. So that is something good that came out of it. Now let's talk about the numbers, which is what you guys came here for. 500K people at the time that this person was watching the graduation. Truly the end of an era. Giving us a graduation concert with 500,000 live viewers is insane. Over 600K right here again. She went to from 500 to 700K, just around there from what I remember. Like here is another one, 739K. Peak at 739, Aqua singing last song. New records for Hololive Vtuber graduations. Someone says Aqua's live stream reached 900K. It's likely that YouTube was having an error at the time. Right at the end of it is 749. It's the highest it went. And this is what they're talking about. This little blip. The blip hit 963, 662. What that ended up happening is that I think part of it was what happens when you have large amounts of people in any server. And the servers that YouTube has, they get sent to what's called load balancing servers, which means that in order for one server not to be hit with a huge load, they spread it out to different servers in order to balance the load, as the name says. She did not hit 963. According to the actual the sustained one, it was 749 at the peak, which was, she did not only get 18K in super chats, she did not. Maybe at that point it was 18K in super chats. She ended up getting 35 million yen, which is around 240k at the current exchange rate. And people are saying, yes, that was a YouTube glitch. A few moments after that crazy spike, the graph dramatically dips around 480k. Then it gradually normalized to around 600k. So it's probably a load balancing issue. It was because of the situation, you're gonna have a lot of people rushing in and out of the stream to find her and see her before she leaves. Hololive has a huge following, so it's not unexpected that they're gonna have that. It's not unexpected that it would go that far. Now the final thing is, of course, some people are gonna be comparing it numbers wise and everything like that. You're saying management wasn't going into the direction I was hoping it would go, but it doesn't mean I hate everyone. Graduation is positively received from talents and management. I just don't care anymore. Graduation goes horribly wrong. Basically, the two comparisons. And yeah, Hololive and their talents seem, just at least on the surface, to want to continue positive messaging, positive fan appreciation, positive in everything. Nijisanji yen, at this point, the management just doesn't care anymore. And that is the problem. That is a little bit of a comparison between the two. Now that we saw, the numbers, and the numbers show in how people are receiving it, how people are receiving positivity towards negativity. So that's why I try to keep positivity going, even if there's negative news out there. I try to find a positive spin, or at least a spin where it will be a little bit more objective. I get criticized for it, but that's what I like doing. I wanted to go over the letter that Aqua read on the graduation stream. Luckily, somebody had translated it, at least to the best of their ability. Here we go. I'll tell you when, but the person I want to thank the most is my manager. I wrote a letter to Mr. Manager, so I will read it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your letter. Yes, Mr. Dear Manager, how are you? Yes, I think it's a miracle that you have been able to stay with the same Unicorn. The same with the Unicorn. It's a miracle that Unicorn has been able to keep the same manager for this long. Unicorn being, I guess in this case, Aqua. I have been with you for about 4 years, since around 2020. Yes, I had a very competent manager. A competent manager. Yes, he has been with us for about 4 years, since about 2020. I've been with you for about 4 years. It repeats itself. A miracle that we have been able to come this far without any changes in the manager, which is often the case at HoloPro, which is basically Hololive Productions. I was in charge of the project. I was still a little kid and sharp at the time, and basically not understanding things at the time. And it caused a lot of trouble with the manager. I'm sorry for the trouble I've caused you. Even so, I'm so sorry for the trouble. I thank you for not giving up on me and for taking charge of me. Whenever I went to a work site, they always provided me with juice, sweets, and souvenirs from the travels. Yes, when I was struggling with my relationships and how to deal with society, they gave me a lot of advice and words of encouragement. She supported me as a third mother when I came to Tokyo from the countryside as a boss and didn't know what to do. I didn't have anyone to rely on after leaving my parents. My first mother was Kumiko. My first mother is Kumiko. My second mother is Marin. My third mother is my manager, who has lovingly supported Minato Aqua for the past 4 years. I'm very happy that you were in charge of me, from everyone, and me. Basically, she was happy that she had a third mother. They helped her. That's good management. That's not just like, hey, you're under my charge and, we're doing this and that and whatever. It is good management. It is a good manager to have this happen, to take care of her for 4 years and stay for 4 years. As we know, Nijisanji, pretty much cycles them in and out, and so does Hololive, because I think Crony was one who said that they do cycle management. And usually what they do is that they put seasoned managers with new talents, and then usually they put newer managers later on when the talents already have a feel of how they're going to be doing things, to kind of train the managers, kind of go on, under the wing of the more trained managers, more experienced ones, to kind of figure out how to properly manage a talent. So it's not unheard of, especially in the entertainment industry, for managers to be moved around, especially if you're in an agency that has several managers involved. You'll have them moved around for training, etc., and other things like that, and things to better fit your personality. That is something that does happen. Down here it says, I use Windows Live Captioning and translated Deep L for a quick TL of my friends on Discord, so not sure about the accuracy. The only thing I noticed is misgendering of the manager as a he, the second paragraph, but other than that, it seems fine. Always great to see things like this, a reminder that a number of managers are in charges, in their charges corner. She ended up being, her manager, she ended up being a third mother, which is amazing. And that's where, I'm glad that Aqua had that. The very timid gaming maid had a wonderful person behind her. We have Aqua, who recently graduated. She's graduated. She's no longer part of Hololive. She had a letter to her manager where she was very sweet to her manager, and she also made a letter to future Hololive members who may hit the same Hololive server, which, because the server is not going to disappear. It's too many memories, too many things there for it to disappear. I'm pretty sure they even have archives of it. So here is her reading the message to future Hololive members.
新しくホロライブへ入った人たちへこれを書こうと思います。最後にはじめまして、私はホロライブ2期生のリナとアクアです。ここで元とは使わない。
Not using
卒
form
業し
remember.
てからどれだけ時間が経ったことでしょう。私のことを知っていますか？私は周りから陰キャ、引きこもり、コミュ障、と言われていたメイドの先輩です。ゲームと歌が好きです。よかったらこの手紙を読んで覚えてってくれたら嬉しいです。ホロライブはキラキラしていて憧れの場所だと思いますか？でもこの先辛いことや大変なことたくさんあると思います。そんな時思い出してください。あなたにはたくさんの応援してくれるリスナーさんがいて、一緒に支え合えるホロメンがいるということ。卒業した先輩もいます。頑張って大丈夫あなたがホロライブに入って素敵な未来が描けますように。銀河一伝説のアイドルミナとアクアのご加護、あれ読んだら、ダイヤお供えしてください。ミナとアクア、よしオッケー。カイトくんここまで読んだ、どういうことっていう感じだけどいいじゃん。こうしよう。よし、新しくホロライブに入ってきた人が幸せに明るい未来を過ごせますように。
This is wonderful to hear this about her, to hear her being so positive. The basic gist of it for the audio listeners of what happened with Aqua and this letter, basically introducing herself that she's meeting to Aqua from second generation of Hololive, and reminding them that there are going to be moments when they feel bad, moments when they feel down, moments when they feel sad. But in those moments, remember that they have a good community behind them, they have good people around them, and they have their senpais who graduated before them, and they're all being supported by them. And always, reach out and that type of stuff. So that is very, very, very kind of her, trying to show them that a lot of people look up to Hololive, a lot of people are going to look up to you. Don't let that pressure get to you, but also, remember that there are people that are going to be supporting you in many ways. So that's just Aqua being sweet Aqua that she always is. Having covered the Aqua graduation, we are going to go over a bit more of just the remembrances that people are having, the memories, the wonderful moments that they had in the Aqua had in her graduation. This is her singing her one of her songs, one of her original songs. But first to say, I'm not crying, you are. A lot of people are like, that last one was sad to watch. It was, and the animated scene at the end killed me. Having her cry throughout it sent me. Had to hug my Takodachi plush to keep myself from fully going. Oh my god, that got me. Because it was a goodbye. It was her saying goodbye to her fans, saying, I love you guys, but I have to go. And like her crying throughout the whole thing, kind of like when Toa cried when she was singing Error, that got to me. That immediately got to me. I'm not gonna lie, I cried at that moment. There you have Holo Exodia of the second generation. Last time they're going to be singing together. Last moment, there will always be 5, of course. They will always be there. And always, the Holo Exodia is, I believe, people from different generations there together. I'm literally sobbing right now. I never thought I would actually shed tears, but yes, I'm going to appreciate Atashi giving Aqua as unofficial group leader and the one who organized the get-together. I wonder if they will manage to do another Gen collab or they will go the way of JP4. We don't know. They might be able to do another Gen collab, an off collab or something like that. Who knows? Their Gen might be that way, might not be that way. We don't know. But these are people, saying their stuff. And of course, like the memories of Aqua and Yago doing it. And again, Yago, and it was done by Kiryu Koko like 3 years ago with her graduating. When she graduated, but it was 3 years ago that she graduated at this point. And they had a talk with Yago itself, the goat. It's been 3 years between those two events. How fast this guy is aging. Last I heard, he basically have gotten to a diet due to health reasons, being CEO of Cover and a stress-free job either. Glad he's finally gave him a 3D model. The cutout was funny, but the new model definitely had a lot of work put into it, and it shows. It's his IRL self, I think. His IRL self, it's like, yep, the 3D model is so realistic. It even goes past the uncanny valley and becomes realistic. Here's Aqua's final tweet. Of course, this is all remembrance of Aqua. She is and forever will be the gaming maid of the interstellar gaming maid of Gen 2. See you again someday. Oh yeah, she'll be around. I'm pretty sure she's going to be taking a break. She said that she was leaving me. She wanted to live her life. And what I took by that is she wanted to be free to live the way that she wanted to. Rules are there, of course, in order for there to people not to mess things up, PR-wise, etc. But it can get suffocating for some people. Not necessarily the fault of Hololive, Nijisanji, whatever, for putting out rules. It's just the way that they manage their talents can become suffocating at times because they are a large Japanese corporation. So it does happen that way. Corporations are very stifling, especially Japanese corporations that can be very stifling, very stuffy. So I can understand why she left to live her life. But she kept it very positive. She said it wasn't management's fault. It was just, she wanted to go a different direction, which is perfectly fine. It doesn't mean, holy crap, there's a lot of crap, a lot of crazy stuff going on at Hololive, etc. Like some people try to make it out to be. It's not that. It's just, people move on. Aqua's final post. Thank you, Aqua. Again, she says thank you, everyone, and she has a her stuff there. She has she was an onion, an idol, a gamer, the maid. She was everything together. People saying thank you, Aqua, for being part of Hololive. Thank you, Onion Maid, for serving us. Thank you for being a part of Hololive for 6 years. Thank you for bringing so many smiles for basically over half a decade. And thank you for being part of our lives. We love you, of course. And see you again someday. Here's her of course, everything here. Here's her final post with some music, of course. Of course, they're cheering. She left us with a smile. She left the community with a last and final post of her smiling and the cheers. Of course, the cheers are not going to stop. The cheers are always going to be there. She changed Hololive in her own way, just like Subaru is changing it right now, just like all the ones who are currently there. The people who started it, like Sora, Roboco, Suisei, Aski and Inaka Music, other people who started it all out. And, started finding new talents, started finding new people, everybody, and yes, the gaming maid was a part of it. An era has happened, an era has ended. People are not going to move on because, of course, I'm not going to move on. I'm still going to be watching old Aqua stuff. And, of course, the Hololive talents and other talents out there gave their final goodbyes to Aqua and gave their wonderful stuff. Like here, you have her, like, I kneel before you, queen, type of thing. It's kind of funny, but it's kind of cool to see this. Hard to express everything I'm feeling. Thus I put it into a drawing. You're truly a shining star, Aqua Senpai. Thank you. You have Shion buying flowers for Aqua before her live started. It says, my manager told me about it yesterday, so I secretly bought her a huge bouquet of flowers. I'm glad she was happy. And this is Aqua saying rehearsal is over. While I was eating in the dressing room, a kid appeared with a huge bouquet of flowers. And that was Shion. And, I'm glad that they made her happy. I'm glad that she saw the love and affection people have. The community, of course, is showing a huge amount of affection for her and will continue to. And I'm sure she's going to keep tabs on the community, keep tabs on the people around there, on people around her, and make sure that, everyone is good, as the gaming maid always does. We have Iroha's tweet where she says, thank you so much for leading Hololive for 6 years. Aqua Senpai is always cute, very good at games, and shy, but when the time comes, she shows us her cool side. Want to sing and dance and perform live. That was one of the reasons why I came to Hololive. Just like you said, I missed out on eating Aqua Senpai's cookie. I actually have one regret, and I wanted to invite you as a guest at my birthday live show someday, but I never had the courage to ask you, so I regret it. But in the end, I was really happy to be invited to your graduation live show and to be able to participate in such a wonderful song. Thank you so much. I will never forget it. I'll always be able to deliver cookies, so please contact me anytime. Aqua Senpai is a great senior of Hololive, who will always be important to me. Thank you so much for giving me so many wonderful memories so far. Kazuma, Iroha, she's part of Hololive's 6th generation. It hit her hard. Of course, we were talking about, this is of course a meme, but let's talk about what is said here. Matsuri says it's not a lie, but we're going to pretend it is. Sorry, I lied, please go. And then it says, don't go, Aqua. And it says, I can't stop crying. Just a side note, I love the way Aqua sings. I love really gotten into the habit, I've really gotten into the habit of ending sentences with a rising pitch, just like her. So there are times when I respect her and sing along with her. This is the last time I talk about our first time out. It was nice of you to let us sing together at the end. Enjoy the stream to the end. Be a legend. And yeah, oof, it was all of this stuff, all of the memories, all of the people saying, you know, goodbyes and all that kind of stuff. It hits hard because it is definitely a moment in history. It's a moment in VTuber history, a moment in Hololive history, because she was there when Hololive was still small. The second generation was when Hololive was still small. It hadn't gotten the huge boost that Kiryu Coco gave them, and you know, the third generation started boosting up and things like that. It didn't get that huge boost that it has now. It was still a small corporation. I think it was still private at that point. It hadn't even gone public. Japanese voice actress Sakura Ayane visiting Hololive Studio. She did the narration at Minato Aqua's graduation live. And she, you know, that's her goodbye to Aqua as well. And finally, they did update Aqua's profile to say the legendary idol gamer maid. Just as what she deserves, Minato Aqua has become a legend tonight. That is Hololive giving her the recognition she deserves and giving her the naming sense that she has always wanted. And it says right here, Minato Aqua, legendary gamer maid. I'm from Hololive, I'm an extreme gamer, and I love to sing. Perfect Idol wrote her perfect end. Her legendary story of strong will, staying true to herself, will forever be in the history of VTubing. See you again someday, just like Aqua's last tweet. Rest well, Akutan. Yes, I hope she gets some good rest. I hope she's able to relax and just have a good time being herself wherever she decides to go. And it is always a sad one to see, but they are the ones who decide, not us, whether they get to stay or go. Welcome back, everybody, to the VTuber Showcase, where I try to give back to the wonderful VTuber community that has given so much to me. Today, we are showcasing that Styx, or Styx on Twitter, and they are a demon of greed, addicted to dice rolling and gambling. Ooh, that is an interesting one. They have tactical style Styx. This is their full thing here. Taking a look at it fully. They are have done Cult of the Lamb recently. Let's take a look at some of their things that they've done before. Here.
Have to be prepared for this moment. Ready? Don't say my body is ready. You're making it weird. Okay. Okay. You want to hear me meow? You want to hear me meow? Okay. Here is my best cat impersonation. The cat is going on the mic. Meow. 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 Meow.
That is cursed.
How was that, guys?
That was cursed. The best meow on the internet. The best meow on the internet. Absolutely. Best meow on the internet. Hands down. Beat everybody out there. You know it. That's the best one ever. Best one you've ever heard. Best one you will ever hear. Guaranteed. Let's see down here. Local greed demon that rolls a d20 to make basic life choices. It says, demon of greed accidentally summoned by this mortal plane after a ritual of curious Templar gone wrong. It's not to pay rent somehow. So I chose to be a streamer and invite you to play my games. I am a variety streamer who loves every aspect of life, and I've done quite a bit, from creative writer, chronic cleaner, and home cook baker. So I've done a lot of things. Breakdancing, that's something new. That's something new. I want to do as much as I can with streaming. And gonna show you as well their YouTube side, where they do their debut stream there. They had 4 months ago. The Twitch VODs they put in there, of course, which is, you know, a place. It's perfectly fine to put your Twitch VODs in here because Twitch only saves it depending on your situation. If you're just an affiliate, I think it does 7 days. If you're a partner, I think it does 14 days. If you have like Twitch Prime or any of that Twitch extra stuff, I think you can do it for up to 30 days. So it's really hard to get your Twitch VODs there for a long time. So it's a good way to back them up. Thank you again, Styx, for being a part of this VTuber Showcase, and I do hope that this helps you grow in the future and continue on your wonderful VTuber journey. Thank you so much for watching. That is all the news that we have for today. Please let me know down below if you want to know any more news or if you have any comments regarding anything that you saw here, which I will try my best to respond to. I love seeing your comments down below. Of course, as well, like and subscribe to the channel. That will give you more information every single day. I do 2 videos a day, so hopefully you enjoy.